we used at the farm, it was clay sand, where for a few years there were weeds growing, and then we piled on top a somewhat thick layer of compost, and then we never dug it. We did that a year and a half ago, and we never dug it, which allowed for the soil to be healthier. And so we're going to make it rain. And you can see on top there is some coarse compost. And now as we are making it rain, you can see that there is not nearly as much water that pools on the top, and really quickly it gets absorbed. And as you can see, the water runs through, but barely takes any of the soil particles. And the water that runs almost clear instead of taking a lot of the particles. So that shows us that we're doing a good job at treating the soil properly, and we're not destroying the soil. And by the way, when there is heavy rains, that means we have less chances of floods, because the water is not pooling on the top, and if there is any slope, it will wash out.
What did you do to that soil?
Added compost on top, and we never dug it for a year and a half. And then the last one here is the last bed that we built with this clean sandy soil from the New York City. And we did it by alternating a layer of compost, a layer of soil, a layer of compost, a layer of soil. And what we can see is that it formed little solid blob of soil, as in the soil particles are kind of like glued together. By the way, the older soil is the same thing. So this is 4 or 5 months that this bed has been built. So I'm going to make it rain as well. And you're seeing here, same thing as before. We have the soil that water is pooling just a little bit, but gets absorbed relatively quickly, not as quickly as the other one. And the water runs through, and it's relatively clean. Maybe not as clean as the older soil, but it runs quite clean. And then one last thing to notice is how we can see that the water doesn't circulate through everything here, because the soil is not healthy yet, while the other soil, the older one, it helps wicking all the moisture all throughout the soil as compared to the other one. And so that shows us how by not digging the soil, we help maintaining a better quality soil that can absorb and retain the water with less risk of runoff and maybe flooding if there is a slope.